3, 2, 1. We're back with the third podcast. Hello, people on YouTube and our community. Welcome to the LegendFire Podcast number 3. There it is. Now zoomed out. I don't know if this is backwards reading at all, because the first time around, it did actually. I think it recorded backwards, so it reads backwards. That's unfortunate. But as I said, LegendFire Podcast. This was. Raven and I gave me the idea for this. So I went on to Etsy and bought it. I'm like, I gotta get the film clapboard to open this up.
It's cute.
I like it. Although I wish it actually had a hinge point on it. It doesn't have one.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Like the little snaps.
Yeah, I could slice it. But I'm not sure if that's might be too fragile of wood. But welcome to the LegendFire Podcast again with everyone who's watching. If you like the previous one, which was world building with Calder Mill Hair, please leave a like and maybe a subscribe on my channel. This is going on my channel, but maybe it'll go onto someone else's too, just in case. This one is going to be unique. I've been looking forward to this one just looking forward to it, because I don't know very much of anything about it. If you guys are watching, my name is Matthew Birdsell. I'm a writer on the LegendFire forums. I go by HD Simplicity. The short story behind that is my Xbox profile name, and that's how I'll go with that. I use it on most everything. My special guest is a much better writer than me. As with everyone else you'll be seeing on my podcast, they're far better writers than I am currently. This is why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Alatariel, and my real name is Laurel Stark. And how I got my LegendFire name is ages ago, probably like 15 years ago. I went on a Lord of the Rings name generator.
Okay.
For elfish names, where you put in your real name and then it comes up with a name. And I liked it. I thought Alatariel was nice, and so I just put it on my screen name, and it just stuck for a long time. So be careful when you choose for yourself, because it might stick for a long time.
That's actually really cool. Did you use Fantasy Name Generator?
I don't remember. It was so long ago. Like, the internet was just a baby.
Oh, wow. Because I use Fantasy Name Generator, that website, when I want to go and find names or item descriptions, just mainly as placeholders, until I can come up with my own original take on something. But I like doing that. Although my book's main character was all my idea. No. It was mostly my idea. I think someone else's. I did not use a name generator for that one. So, I am particularly proud about that. And...
yeah, usually.
And let's see, what else was I going to say? Cool things, there's that. I mean, I guess I'll add that my username, HD Simplicity, it came from like 10 years ago, more or less. Mm-hmm. I was coming up with a gamer tag for my Xbox, just to change it for like the 4th time. And I thought, you know what? I'm kind of getting interested in game design, which I currently do as a hobbyist. One of the things I like about game design, I like high-definition games, photorealism, and I like simplicity in the game design. Not every game has that, and sometimes they're actually really good being complicated, but some of the most famous games they can have some simple gameplay loops, and they're all flashy, photorealistic, and I kept that. I still have it. I think I want to change it anyways.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know, as we grow as people, we naturally want to kind of have our usernames grow as well, but I'm somebody who just kind of sticks with something for a long time and don't really think about it much.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe I have a couple other ideas for mine. They're actually fun, they're actually jokes originally, and I'm like, oh, I'll just stick with mine for now. But as long as with that out of the way, let's jump in and talk about some how to juggle family and writing. For me, that sounds like one of the most absolute ridiculously hard things you could do as a creative and as a parent. But there are people that do it, and there are people that do it successfully. The first name that comes to mind is Brandon Sanderson. He's a full-time author. You know, Mistborn. I just today started listening to the audiobook of Mistborn for the first time, just to pass the time at work. Got Stormlight, Trust of the Emerald Sea is on my shelf.
So many books.
He's put a lot of stuff. but he has a family. He has a couple of boys. There's so many other authors that are well known that have families too, and people that want to be authors and be indies that do. But I want to start with a silly question. Do you include cameos in your kids?
No, I don't actually. No, I do take inspiration from sometimes my kids and sometimes just my family in general, or people out in the world that I know or encounter. But no, I don't have cameos of any of my family in any of my stories.
Maybe it's fair for privacy reasons. Also, maybe there's no place for them when you think, you know what?
Yeah.
I don't think they have a use to be in the scene, so I'm just gonna leave them out, and that's it. That's that. It doesn't really go any farther than that, honestly. Yeah. I mean, if they're not cameos, then do they? Depending on their age, do you let them read what you've been writing?
My oldest is 11, almost 12, and they have read some of my short stories and some of my older stories, but I'm like, oh my goodness, I wrote this in high school. You have to see how funny it is, because to me, my writing was very funny.
Yeah.
At that age. I read a lot of fan fiction, so I had a lot of bad habits from fan fiction. And so
there's that.
My oldest loves it, and asks me constantly if I'm ever going to finish this story or that story. I have one that I've been working on for a long time and has gone through many different transitions and edits and drafts, and they know all about it and ask me constantly, are you ever going to finish the Twin Watch? And I'm just like, you motivate me?
Maybe.
But yeah, they know about it. They have read some of it. I write mainly for YA and younger, so some of my stories on LegendFire, not so YA, but my longer novels, I try to keep it to a YA level because that's when I fell in love with reading. Okay. And so I want to have other people fall in love with reading at that age. So yes.
That's a good answer to that, actually, is you will let them read it. I mean, I feel like it's appropriate for them to read your stories if they know for a while, mom or dad writes cool stories, and they've gotten published. You should, I kind of want to read these myself now. And you're like, I think at a certain age, as long as you understand the content that's in it, then yeah, you can go for it. But just be aware that some things you may not understand, or some things may be scary, or something like that, and it's because this is what I wanted to write, and I really like doing it. I never did that growing up. My parents were never creative. No, that's not true. My mom did some in high school. But I wrote a fan fiction for the Tomb Raider games a number of years ago. It was based off the Rise of the Tomb Raider, the second game of the rebooted games. I had some ideas. I thought, I don't think this was explored that much. I want to make a story of my own. I did it, and it was garbage. But it was so fun to write. I've kept it. I'm never going to fix it, but it was fun to write.
No, fanfiction is really fun to write, and that's definitely something that I leaned into in high school, so yeah.
That sounds about accurate. I kind of want to go try some Halo fanfiction just because I know so much about the Halo games, and I've read a bunch of the books, but creating my own stuff is so much more fun. But fan fiction can be really good. It can be legit as long as you put the effort into it. I think it can be.
It's a really great way. It's a really great way to get out of a writer's block as well.
Yeah, it is. There's that. When your kids are at home, or I don't know, just around you at home, do you let them help you get unstuck if you're ever in a writer's block? Or do they understand enough about that?
Mostly my oldest, so they love reading just as much as I do, and they want to be a writer someday, which I love. And so they come up with their own stories all the time. So if I'm stuck on something, I will ask. So my character, very vaguely, sometimes I'll be like, so my character is trying to make this decision between this kind of thing and that kind of thing, and I'm not sure where to go with it, and what do you think should happen? And my oldest will come up with a lot of great answers because they watch some of the coolest shows, they read amazing graphic novels, they just have such an amazing imagination, and they come up with things that I never would have thought of. And even if I don't use exactly their idea, it helps me like push past my own like preconceived notions or the things that I tend to do over and over again, right? Because we tend to do the same kind of plots or the same kind of conflicts. I find, at least myself, and so they will help me definitely kind of shift my thinking in different ways. So yeah, definitely. And just my oldest, because my other two is 6 and 3, so not so much. But my almost 12-year-old, yes.
Yeah, I mean, when you're at that tween age, they can comprehend some of the more abstract concepts, but it's still more YA. So like, if people who are watching this episode, if you have kids that are, I don't know, the tween age, perhaps a little bit younger, they'll be able to help you out of the most surprising spots. I don't have kids to do that with, but sometimes they probably can shock you. And they'd be like, you know what, that just solved a myriad of problems, so thank you for doing that. And I'll include you in the credits for that too. But there's all that. That's pretty good. I think I just got myself into a slight off track of my thoughts of where I was going to go with that. But that's okay. I mean, my notes, that's what I had. If my future child wanted help with me, I wrote this down, then if I could hold my concentration on the scene while the kid's there, then I might let them help me too. But with me, I don't always switch gears like that so easily, and so it would break my attention span. I may have to have them wait until I'm finished writing something, and then go ask, like, hey, would you want to help me with this for like 15 minutes? And if they still wanted to, I might hear their ideas. Just don't know if they would understand what's in my mind enough to where it actually work. And I cannot. Maybe not just try it. And may include them in the fun. Because kids, if you do that, then it doesn't push them out of the way like that.
And usually our conversations happen in the car. Like we'll be driving somewhere, and my oldest will be like, so Mom, what are you working on right now? What are you writing? Or what? Tell me about the story that you're trying to come up with. Or do you want to talk about whatever? They just like talking in the car. And so I'll be like, okay, let me lay it out for you. Here's kind of the plot points I have right now. Here's where I'm getting stuck. It's not usually like while I'm writing, because I'm like you. I have to stay focused.
Yeah.
And if I get out of that like flow state, then I'm like,
honestly, it happens with kids pretty easily, and with me, I just get distracted more easily than I used to. So I have to turn on music or jump into the scene and say, okay, for 30 minutes, just hardcore focus on this. Just 30 minutes, and then you can get the gear shifted back into place so I can finish this part. So that was going to be a question I was going to ask later on was, maybe it wasn't. If you do any like writing or editing around your kids, if you're not at your screen. So it sounds like you kind of do.
Sometimes. I mean, it's really hard with a toddler. Like when my kids were older before I had him, they have a 5-year age gap, so I didn't have him for a while, and I did a lot more writing once my kids hit about like 4 or 5 years old. But 3 and under, it's just like a constant attention grabber. However, when they nap, my kids are napping, then I will usually try to at least get, like you said, 30 minutes of something done, whether it's editing, world building, outlining, or writing. And if none of that can happen, then I at least try to read.
Okay. Yeah, the writing takes focus. It takes creative energy. If we don't feel like we have that, then reading or watching something or playing a game, that is probably the next best thing to do. And if those of you who are watching this show, let us know in the comments if that's kind of the same way you feel about parenting and writing is. For me, I feel the same way. I mean, when I got home from work, I mean, I'm not a parent, like I said, but I got an hour before we do the show. I am tired from work. It's been busy. I need like 40 minutes of video game time just to recharge. So I turned on my Xbox, started playing Mass Effect 3 from where I was at, I'm like, okay, I feel a bit better now. I've unwounded, and now I can go back and I can do something more creative, maybe just later on or the next day. It's like, you run with a recharge time from that. This might be a little bit of a complex question and answer for this one. Does being a mother benefit your creativity, and how does it make it easy or difficult?
I think it definitely benefits my creativity in a way that they expose me to so much more of the world and so many different kinds of personalities and so many different kinds of contradictions that a person can have within themselves. And like, I see their life stages, I see like the decisions that they make, I can see what they like or dislike and how different they all are, and that really helps with character creation. And then with my oldest, we have started, since they were like 5 or 6, we have chosen a show together that we watched together. So when they were younger, it was like Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then like, and just recently we did Legends of Korra because that's a little more intense. And then, so we picked these really great shows like Owl House and Amphibia and Kipo and Age of the Wonder Beasts, and they have these immaculate storytelling. And it's not anything that I would have naturally been exposed to without a child to be there to bring me into these younger shows that have amazing storytelling and amazing characters. And then not just that aspect, but also like, they do also eat my creativity and take it. For sure. They use up a lot of my energy and a lot of my mental powers, and their schedules and their needs are always in my head, and it pushes out a lot of other things for myself.
Yeah.
So that can be a challenge, but I would say if anyone out there listening has young kids, it is a season. It's just a season. They really do change so much with each year, and eventually they're not going to be as demanding of your time and energy as they are young. And so having like an almost 12-year-old all the way to like a 3-year-old, I see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Like every parent's like, yes.
Seriously, it helps. I feel like how capable my 12-year-old is compared to having a toddler. And when I just had a toddler, you feel so isolated and like it'll never end. It does. So now I know, okay, I might not be able to write a lot right now. This will pass. I will eventually be able to write a lot again. And until then, I am going to keep my ideas written down. I am going to feed into like the outlining and the world building and do what I can, and don't beat myself up for what I can't do, because they are real creativity eaters.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. Just a second. That's a really good answer. Yeah. I mean, that actually was an answer to other questions I also had. I did a brief bit of research on a couple of websites just to help the questions to come up with this. I couldn't come up with enough on my own, and so I thought, okay, I just need to look at a few websites and see what kind of topics are coming up, and then I can also use that to generate more ideas. And yes, I did use ChatGPT once. I may not even ask that question, but I'd still, that one's all right. Just to help me out. But it's like, do you ever feel FOMO in regards to that? Do you think parents would do that? You're like, I'm missing out on this amazing story. I want to do this now, but I got the kids here. So it's like, how do parents, how should they handle that?
It's really hard because right now, I don't even know how I'll be able to do the current LegendFire contest. Because I signed up for it, I had high hopes that I would be able to write a short story in 2 weeks. I got a really good idea. I've been jotting down like plot points and character details, and the way that I want the story to flow. and I just haven't had the time to write it. And I have maybe like 200 words, and I'm like, this needs to be finished by Saturday in 2 days. 2 days.
Yep.
And I don't think I'll be able to get it to the quality that I would want it to. So, yes, I'm probably going to have to miss out on that, and I have to just be okay with that and let it go. And if I do get another idea, I'll put it in my...
It happens, the FOMO. I'm like, well, you can't write everything in your life, but you can write a few things. So there's that.
You hope.
Huh?
You hope.
I hope. I mean, if I keep thinking, if my current book is the only book I ever write, I'm going to finish that. I've thought about that. I'm like, but you know what? I don't think that's good, unnecessarily the right mindset to have. I'll finish it eventually because I have other ideas I want to try out. I started a novel last year, and I have other stories, so it's like, it's not going to be the only thing. I had a really bad process of writing this whole thing. That's really it. Do your kids actually give you like better like creative process ideas, or do you have your own?
I have definitely fumbled a lot with my own creative process over the years. I tried a lot of pantsing it, and I am not a pantser. Like, every time I would try to just, like, throw myself into a story because it's exciting, I would get stuck at the middle, and I would not know where to go from there, and it would be like 20,000 words, always get stuck. Every time.
It's like,
yeah, it's really frustrating. But I decided that I have to buckle down and try to at least be a little bit of an outliner. And so, for example, right now, my oldest and I are trying to come up with a story to co-write because they want to write with me. And so we've come up with a really cool concept and a really cool story, and we have a lot of the plot points up until the ending. We don't know the ending. And I'm like, we cannot, because they're like, we should start writing this now. And I'm like, I've been there, I get it, no. We have to, no.
This is not how it
works. We have to know the ending. Yeah.
Basically, if you don't know the ending, then you're going to be meandering too much, and you'll waste time. And they may find that fun, but if you want to teach them better writing habits, then you should say, okay, I know you want to do this so badly, but that's not that's not a good way to do it. I have a pretty good idea of where the story can go, and then you can easily bridge all the gaps instead of being like, now we're here. What did we want to do? Well, I don't know. It's like that. I don't know. And they'll learn that, I'm sure, as they're watching you do it, and then they'll think back years later, like, yeah, Mom set out to do that way. Maybe they'll still try it, but they may find it still like, no, I think she was right. This is a better way to do it.
Yeah. They'll definitely try their own way, I'm sure, but I have come across that issue where I don't quite know the ending, and then when I do figure it out, all the stuff I wrote before has no foreshadowing, has nothing in like the character arc to bring this character to that point that I now want to do at the ending, because now I know, and you have to go back and rewrite so much. So like, we at least need to know like the bare basics of the ending, and then we can start writing and have a fun discovery process of certain aspects of the story. But until then, we're not going to start yet. So.
Yeah, and they'll understand that probably as it keeps going. I figure we can wrap this one up. I think we'll have enough for a second one. This one up with one more question, and then we will do any final thoughts. This is the ChatGPT question. Has writing? I'm looking at my notes. Has writing helped process the emotional complexity of being a parent? For its joy and its challenge.
100%.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Okay.
Oh yes. Okay. So, without going into like my whole life story, my second child's birth was extremely traumatic. and we went through like a lot of difficulty with her in the NICU. And with being able, I don't know if this is gonna sound like I need therapy, but using my writer brain to look at it and say these are experiences and emotions and complex issues that I can use in my writing if a character is going through something that is also as traumatic, not like the same scenario, but I know how certain types of trauma can affect the way that you act, the way that you think, the way that you feel. I know what extreme fear feels like in your body when you're faced with something that you have no choice and you have to move forward no matter what, because there's literally no other choice. I know how that feels in the body. So being able to like pull myself to the side a little bit and be like, right, I am feeling this, and this. Make note of that because it'll come in handy later. It actually helped me a lot to process those emotions with a little bit of distance. And I don't feel like those times in my life are really negative anymore or really bad. It's like, okay, that actually helped me in different ways in my creative aspect and with like my writing. So yeah, having kids definitely shows you a lot of yourself in ways that the challenges that you never thought you were able to handle.
And that I'm guessing people who are watching this probably could answer to the same way. If you do have anything a little bit different than that, feel free to mention down in the comments section. But it sounds like it helped, and it also maybe helped you vent a little bit and just get through a tricky time. I mean, writing helps us get through, not just, I guess, through tough parenting times as a way to unwind, but also for anything in life. It can help us process stuff, help us escape temporarily, do something we like to do that's enjoyable, and then we kind of go back to the real life stuff we're trying to process. So writing, whether it's creative or journalistic stuff, or writing in a diary, I mean, I've done some diary writing. I don't care about doing it myself very much, but it all helps you process stuff that you are wanting to get out of your head and move past. So that's a really good answer to that, and a really good way, I think, to put a cap on this one. And there's a few more questions for the next one. Maybe not as long as one, but I still think there's a couple more cool discussion things we can have for Juggling, Family, and Writing number 2. So to wrap this one up, I figure, are there any shameless plugs you wanted to shout out to everyone, or anything like the project you're working on, or something simple like just to wrap? Any final thoughts?
I don't really have very many social media platforms for my writing. What else? Oh, go to LegendFire. That's my shameless plug. Go to LegendFire, check it out. Even if you're some inspiring writer, if you just want to work, come have fun. We're a really good group of people.
We're tight knit, but there's quite a few talented, great writers there that we'll learn off each other. And it's not the size of Scribble file or anything, but it's good. It's a good place to be, a good place to learn. And even if you don't write exactly novels, maybe it's something really unique. There's a few poets in there. There's maybe one or two other video game writers like me. I might be the only one there. I'm not sure. There's a bunch of short story writers, a bunch of novelists. It's a good place to learn, and I think you would enjoy that if you guys will see the link posted in the description of this video. With that, just like the link on the first video with the world building. And you don't have a website, you said, right? No website.
I probably should. I don't.
It might help. I know Raven has one. I have one. Which I'll go and mention mine. If you didn't hear me on the first video, my portfolio website is matthewbirdzella.net. You can see my few previous writing updates on my book and some older video game examples. I was like, hey, this is how I'm working on this. You can see my game development portfolio of the games I've worked on, solo and team-based, and a couple of the just other things on there that you might find interesting, or you might not. Just depends. With that said, I'm also working on my first book, a science fiction military space opera book that I mentioned previously called Project Alexis, which is the name of my main character. I don't have a title for it. I am terrible at naming my stories. When I find one, I'll be so happy with it. But otherwise, I don't have that. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, or just like if you want. And please stay tuned for Juggling Family and Writing Part 2. See ya. Thank you again.
Bye.
Bye-bye.